Faith versus reality, the best new internet game for stopping the abuse of foreign domestic workers. We need to stop sexual and physical abuse of foreign domestic workers. Warning, if you are not an adult, please leave this video now. Ask your parent or respected guardian to preview the words below first. I am sure no country intends for the realities of foreign domestic worker abuse discussed below to exist. The following words are horrific, scary, and real. Many foreign domestic worker employers are respectful and kind and even generous. Many foreign domestic worker employers in certain countries are extremely, brutally, physically, and sexually abusive towards young female and male and older foreign domestic workers. The following does not refer to the many respectful and kind foreign domestic worker employers. The words below only relate to the reality of abuse-enabling countries, where horrifically abusive foreign domestic worker employers, for purposes of sick pleasure, domination, hatred, ego, or boredom, regularly torture, brutally rape, beat, starve, imprison, don't pay any wages to young, innocent female and male and older foreign domestic workers. They do not allow foreign domestic workers to communicate ever again with any family, friends, or loved ones. They are confined to their rooms and houses. They live every second, night and day, in crushing, devastating, hopeless, depressing fear of random torture, beatings, rape at any time, 24 hours every day. They have no hope of escape from this insane torment. It is lawful in these foreign domestic abuse-enabling countries for the following to happen. Immediately upon arrival in the foreign country, the following are confiscated from the foreign domestic workers: passports, travel visas, cell phones, and all communication devices. The location of the foreign domestic worker is kept secret. Abused foreign domestic workers' families and loved ones will not be able to find out where the foreign domestic worker is brutally confined. Loved ones will have no idea of the foreign domestic worker's insane, scary, hopeless reality of fearing to be stuck in this hell 24 hours a day forever. Even if the foreign domestic worker did somehow obtain large amounts of money for a plane flight home, foreign domestic workers are only allowed to leave the country if the sexually and physically abusive employer gives approval. The reality is that horrifically abusive employers can get away with not paying foreign domestic workers any wages at all. The laws in foreign domestic worker abuse-enabling countries allow that upon arrival in the foreign country, recruiters can force women and men who have professional and internationally recognized accreditation to have their agreed work assignments changed immediately upon landing in the foreign country, changed from being professionals in a safe job work environment to being a foreign domestic worker with an extremely abusive employer and for little or no wages paid. Recruiters of sexually and physically abused foreign domestic workers are paid by these extremely abusive employers, and so recruiter motivations are not in favor of the foreign domestic worker. Foreign domestic worker recruiters require foreign domestic worker candidates to provide full body photos, not just face photos, to help the sexually abusive employers make selections which foreign domestic worker candidate they will want in their house. There are reports of foreign domestic workers who somehow escaped regular rapes, torture, starvation, beatings, and house confinement being caught. The recruiter's response to the foreign domestic worker fleeing the house to avoid brutal beatings, rape, and torture was the foreign domestic worker body was burned by the recruiter as punishment for fleeing, and then the foreign domestic worker was returned back to the extremely abusive employer for further and much more horrific and intense lessons in submission and obedience. Foreign domestic workers are usually young girls. There are males and some older people whose employment is to live in a house in a foreign country working for the family or for a single male or female. Their job duties are supposed to be limited to cleaning, preparing food, assisting with children's preparation for school, and babysitting. Working hours are supposed to be reasonable, and they are supposed to be offered respect and communication privileges with home country. Young ladies and other foreign domestic workers seek and accept jobs as foreign domestic workers usually because they are so desperate for money to feed their elderly parents, to pay for siblings' education, and to provide food for their babies. These ladies and other foreign domestic workers are very desperate for income and have usually sacrificed their education to work because their parents and siblings need money to survive. Typically, these are young girls, very trusting, very kind, innocent, and caring. So, there is a need for this type of website and game. Foreign domestic workers who are abused need rescue. They need to be guaranteed to know the realities in advance. Foreign domestic workers need empowerment and protection. The process to help abused foreign domestic workers is not to be revengeful to employers. Rather, positive change is to occur with a civil and respectful process of international collaboration to influence international laws and provide human rights protection, open communication, and freedoms to foreign domestic workers in horrific, extreme sexual and physical abuse-enabling countries.